Greetings everyone, it's Cain here. Welcome to my video. So in this video I'm going to be talking about how it takes balls to put a vegan label out there. Now, vegans, vegetarians, people that are plant-based are very discriminated against. There's a study I'm going to put in the description down below. I want you guys to check it out. On how vegans are more discriminated against than blacks, gays, and trannies. Vegans are on the same level as crackheads, meth heads, overall junkies. Isn't that insane? They're at that same level of discrimination. You know how people look down on junkies? Well, that's the same of how people look down on vegans. You know, mind-boggling. It is what it is, though. People out here, deep down, know that they are committing rights violations, which is why they discriminate against vegans. Because of them being frowned upon and, you know, they question themselves from time to time, and they're just in this fuck it mode, and they know this, and that's a very dysfunctional, discontent way of thinking. The majority of people out here are in this fuck it mode, you know, drinking alcohol, having kids that they shouldn't have. Just everyone out here is pretty much, the majority of humans on this planet are in a fuck it mode. I want you to understand that. I'm sure you all know. Read that study, guys. Now, it really does take balls to put a vegan label out there. Whether it's protein products, food, shampoo, anything pretty much. Veganism is a philosophy. It's not just about diet. You know, it's about clothes, it's hygiene products, pretty much everything. Now, a lot of companies did it in the past, had vegan labels, had vegan options, but they switched the name to plant-based so they could generate more income, because people do not like the word vegan. It disrupts sales when you have a product named vegan on the label. A label name that is labeled vegan. It harms sales. And people do know this. But for people to stick with it, you know, such as Vega, I know Ghost Products makes vegan protein powders. You know, they have like vegan Cinnabon flavors and, you know, big words on the bottle that says vegan. You know, they could have chose plant-based. You know, that could have probably made them some more moolah. But they decided to just stay with the word vegan. And I highly respect that. That takes balls. Yeah, just thought I'd talk about this. It was interesting. I just thought it was very you know, like I said, mind-boggling. Just out of the ordinary, that I didn't know that vegans were so discriminated against. You know, I knew they were discriminated against, but not to that level of junkies. It spiked up around 2015 to 2020, and then most of the vegan products, or the word vegan, switched to plant-based after COVID, after 2020, pretty much. Yeah, it really does take balls to put a vegan label out there when we are so discriminated against, and we're compared to junkies, more discriminated against than blacks, gays, and trannies. Which is why I recommend people who are plant-based, vegan, to just keep it to yourselves unless asked. You know, it's none of their business. Obviously, with family, it could be a little bit of a altercation, a little bit of a issue. But you know, people come and go. Those who really do care about you will stick by you. And even if that's no one, self-development is gained. People always come and go, guys. You must allow everything to come and go. Now, I got a few people that watch me who are plant-based and vegan. My protein choice is Vega, and they always had that name Vega. And I'm gonna try it's probably my next food review is the vegan ghost Cinnabon flavored. Looks pretty good. So stay tuned. But yeah, the crazy world we live in, don't you think? People think veganism is like a cult, when in reality, carnism is the biggest cult. People think veganism, being plant-based, is extreme. Well, those animals go through absolute hell, cramped in a tiny enclosure, living in shit in their own feces, with infections, living in absolute hell. You can see it in their eyes that they just want to end it all, and that there's just so much cancer, dysfunction, so much stress. Stress is the cause of cancer, which is why I highly recommend avoiding eating any animal products whatsoever, because they contain carcinogens. Those animals deal with a lot of stress, guys. Every day in their lives is stress. You think we're living in stress? Imagine those animals at factory farms. Absolute stress, and then you consume those animals that endure a life of hell, of stress. You know, not good. Now some of you may be asking, well, Cain, what if they're pasture raised in big fields? There's still high levels of saturated fat and cholesterol in those animals that you consume. Now, if you do consume animals, the healthiest animals to consume are fish and bivalves. But even then, I would say avoid eating them because they're high in mercury. You know, swim through the bullshit out here, guys. I just had a renegade burrito this morning. I had a vegan burrito. Tortilla, potatoes, veggies, Spanish rice, guacamole. Oh man, and some salsa verde on the side. I dunked it in. I put it on top of my burrito. So good, so delicious. Truly enjoyed. People look at me funny, like, no meat? No meat? Like, they give me this look, like, especially Hispanics. Like, aren't you Hispanic? Don't you want meat? You know, like, well, not just Hispanics, everyone in general. Some white kids next to me were looking at me because I asked, oh, do you have any plant-based options? And they're like, no. And the white people next to me were like, the fuck? You know, you are going to get the eye. You are going to get that look. Huh, I live in a car. I know all about that look. I don't give a fuck. Okay? You can get the fuck out of here. I'm myself. I truly enjoy being myself. I live extravagant and a joyful life out here. I have a good routine, good habits. Thus, I have discipline. Thus, I would have a good quality of life because I have consistent discipline and I achieve my simple desires. I think that's pretty much all I gotta say for today's video, guys. Just touching base with you, putting content for you guys, as always. What else can I say? You know, you get carnists arguing. I get carnists arguing with me so much. Here on YouTube, I delete a lot of comments because they're just triggering me. You know, maybe I'll make a separate video on how to deal with carnists. You know, all of these people out here, which are the majority, carnists, Christian, conservatards. There's just so many of them out here. Don't let them get to you, though. Like I said, swim through the bullshit. This life is about the greater you. Don't forget that. I want you guys to understand. It's not about being perfect. It's about doing the best you can. Avoid eating animal products, guys. Animals are truly inspiring. Now, we got some vegans that are for culling carnivorous animals, which I completely understand. You know, as long as it doesn't affect environmental outcomes. You know, there's just all kinds of philosophical ideas. But simply just have a good quality of life and do the best you can. That's all I can say. Don't take it up the ass. Don't be too extreme. Don't overthink. Do not obsess about it. Okay? All right, everyone. Like my video. Leave a comment. Respect those that comment the most. Subscribe. Thanks for watching.